For the first time on this program, Kimberly Martin, who is here. And Kimberly, you wrote a column yesterday describing what happened with Brees this week as a learning experience. For those who've not read the piece, what are the lessons?
The lessons go beyond Brees. They extend to the NFL, and it extends to society at large. This is a teachable moment. You cannot profess to understand. You can't profess to be an ally. You can't profess to be a leader for and in the Black community if you don't understand the basic premise of the movement, why it started the way it did, and what needs to be done. And I understand Brees apologized. This is not about Drew Brees is a terrible person. He needs to be canceled. But it's so easy to say you're an ally without grasping how high the stakes are for Black people in this country. And he had an opportunity in that interview to, when asked how can he use his leadership, be a role model, use his platform, he had an opportunity to explain everything that he did in that apology. And instead, he took us back 4 years to a conversation about the anthem and made it sound that he was more patriotic than some of his teammates. And I don't understand how you can be in a locker room with Demario Davis, Michael Thomas, Cameron Jordan, and all these other guys and still not understand that 4-year-old debate, there's no need for it right now when you have the platform to talk about how you can be a difference maker.
Brees, and we just showed a bit of it here, did release that video apology last night following the earlier Instagram post. What is your reaction to the way he's handled it?
I think a lot of people wonder, what did he learn overnight? That's my question. What did he learn overnight that he hasn't learned in 4 years of how we've seen the NFL go from Colin Kaepernick? We've seen Colin Kaepernick be jettisoned essentially and purposely. What did Brees learn overnight that suddenly he has this awakening? Conversations with teammates and friends in the league and other community leaders, those conversations weren't taking place over the last 4 years. You have to, I wonder if the apology is sincere, because the timing of it, a lot of people kind of roll their eyes at it, especially with the image of the two hands, the black hand, the white hand clasping together. It's a symbol of what he wants to do, but when he had that platform, he misused it. So going forward, he has to stop with the statements, stop with the apologies, and just continue to give money like he's been doing, support causes, but also listen and understand that you can't speak for people who are directly affected. You have to, before you listen to them, you have to listen and understand what it's like to be in their shoes before you can be an advocate for what they're trying to get across.
When you look at his apology, Greeny, it's funny that he said that I wish I would have spoke from the heart. Like that's just really confusing to me, because it seemed like he was just speaking his truth when he gave that interview on Wednesday. So moving forward, though, Greeny, it's important that he aligns himself, in my opinion, with Colin Kaepernick and the movement. I think, at this point, he needs to show some sort of solidarity with that movement. And the best way to do that is to find a way to align himself with Colin Kaepernick and other people who are involved with the movement. And then that would show that he's putting his action behind his words. Because, like I said, the damage that he caused Wednesday was tremendously great to his teammates and to minorities.
Dan, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think this is a tremendous opportunity for learning for all of us, Greeny, for all of us to look at just the Drew Brees situation that was obviously very public, and for us to have the opportunity to learn from it. We need to be doers, not just hearers. And I started, over the last 10 days, I've reached out to so many friends, and I've asked the question, hey, what can I do? Like, what as a white man, what can I do? And so many of my friends were like, Dan, just listen. Right now, we need you in the white community to listen. And over that time period and listening, I started asking myself, okay, I'm a parent of 4 kids. And this has to start at home for me. And it came down to 3 L's. It came down to listening to the cries and the pleas and the pain, and then learning where those cries come from, why they're there, why the pain is there. I have to do a better job of learning and then leading. I've got to lead myself through this. I've got to lead my family through this so that my 4 kids are educated on this and hopefully, get shot off into the world as arrows that are part of change and part of generational change. And so a big deal is just learning and listening through all of this or from all of this. And the Drew Brees situation is a perfect example of how we need to check the way we think, and we need to check the way we speak or communicate, because our words can have unintended consequences. And so just hopefully a great learning and listening experience.
Yeah. It's fascinating. Of all the things, Des, I only have a moment here, but we'll come back and do more in a moment. Of all the things that Demario Davis said to me yesterday, the one that keeps sticking in my mind is when he said, and I'm paraphrasing, I don't want to talk about Drew Brees because that takes away from what we should be talking about. We should be talking about George Floyd. We should be talking about the reasons why all these things are happening.
Absolutely.
And there keep being these distractions that get in our way. A quick moment on that, and then we'll come back with more.
I tell you what, when I keep hearing people talk about listening and learning, I'm like, listen, I pretty much went through the same education system that all of you guys went through, so I don't understand what is it that you have to learn? What is it that you have to listen to? What you have to stop doing is ignoring. See, to me, that's what really caught me off guard about what Drew Brees. Are you ignoring all the cries that are going on, not only in this country, but around the world right now for social injustices and police brutality? So it's not about listening and learning. You hear, you see everything that we see and hear. Stop ignoring. That's what you have to do first and foremost.